are now connected again with Dr. Devy, when we can, again, as you said before,
Yes.
what is the current situation right now, Doctor?
Yeah, the current situation is that Semeru is still in eruptive stage. Yeah. So, in fact, since last year, December 2021, after the big pyroclastic flow, the activity is relatively still high. So that is why we, the government agency that monitor the volcano, raised the alert level. In fact, we raised the alert level 2 times. So first one is from second alert to the third alert. And then after the continuous pyroclastic flow that happened on the 4th of December, we again increased the alert level to the highest one, which is the 4th level.
Yeah.
And now the current situation, the volcano is still erupting, and we still recorded some pyroclastic flow, and therefore the people, community has to follow the recommendation that they must not have to do any activity in the radius of 8 kilometers. And for the southeast sectors, they must not make any activity inside the 19 kilometers radius distance from the summit.
And Dr. Devy, does the members of PVMBG actually already aware of this recent eruption from Mount Semeru itself? And if we remember in 2021, on the eruption, it causes a lot of casualties, which killed 50 people. Do you think this year or this eruption is going to be more severe in regards to the casualties itself? Excuse me.
Yeah, you cannot predict what the casualties. It depends on how the government and also the local community responds to the crisis. If their response is good, for example, if they follow their recommendation, they don't make any activity in the prohibited zones that we have defined and also we have also disseminated, then it's less likely that we will have more casualties. In this events of November, in fact, people are more aware compared to what happened in last year. Because in last year, we made a similar alert. Besides that, we made formal letters to the government. We have also communicated through the community, through the radio, and also the WhatsApp group that all the local stakeholders are there.
All right, Doc, we also know that Indonesia had been struck by a string of earthquakes lately. Could this in any way be related to Mount Semeru's recent eruption? And what about the other volcanoes that are around Indonesia? Are they at risk? Does one active volcano mean that it can affect other volcanoes as well? Are any of them at risk of eruption right now? What do we know?
Yeah, the earthquakes recently in Java, it's not correlated directly to the eruption of Mount Semeru because it is in the different system, and also one volcano to another is not correlated directly. So they have their own magma chambers. Now we call it magma chamber, and any activity is uniquely independent between one to another.
And of course, following up the eruption of Mount Semeru, Japan's meteorology agency is monitoring the possibility of tsunami. I mean, we've been kind of giving and reporting this since December the 4th itself when the mountain erupted. So what is your take on this, Dr. Devy? Is it true that, because of the eruption of Mount Semeru, it could affect all the way to the coastline of Japan?
No, it's I could say it's impossible to create tsunami in Japan because of this eruption of Semeru. Even in Indonesia, it will not create any tsunami because Semeru is on land and the scale of the eruption is not that big as, for example, the past super volcano eruptions. I think the Japanese government also put this as a hoax, and they, I think that some people spread this false information to make chaotic situations.
Yeah, and I think people are mixing up information as well. There was an earthquake that happened and off the coast in the waters that on Saturday evening or Sunday evening, I believe it was around 5 or 6 magnitude, and the Japanese had momentarily alerted just in case there was possibility of tsunami, which they immediately decided it wasn't necessary.
Right.
But then people sometimes forward like misinformation and things like that as well. So you guys have to be careful when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Now, Doc, we do know that the situation there has not been deemed safe yet. How long are we expecting Mount Semeru to stay volatile? I mean, you did mention how unpredictable these situations are, so despite that, we still kind of need a prediction. Do you have any idea at all?
Yeah, Mount Semeru is one of the most affected volcanoes in Indonesia. In fact, almost every year this volcano is erupting. So we could not predict exactly that this eruption will take when will it stop or until when it will continue, because it depends on the magma itself. Because for example, historically the most frequent eruptions in Indonesia is Mount Semeru, and the mitigation that people need to do is that I think people around Semeru is already used to this kind of eruptions. But the event that happened in 2021 was quite particular. It is very significant. It doesn't happen every 10 years, for example. It happens only like one every 100 years. 100 years, so that now the condition is different with before, because all the river is now fulfilled with all the material. So any small eruptions can cause a quite big pyroclastic flow, because before you have to the pyroclastic flow have to follow the path of this big river. Now the big river is fulfilled, and so that. I think the best mitigation for the local community that they should relocate themselves if they live within the pyroclastic flow path areas.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, enhancing to the statement that you just given us, because we've also been seeing and reporting that a lot of the civilians or the local communities want to go back. Like you said, they're so used to this condition that they want to return back home, as opposed to stay put and be safe at the shelter itself. Now, from your data and also research in the eruption itself, do you think as of right now it is safe that the local communities just seek refuge at the shelter itself until you would give the notice that it's okay to go back to their homes and premises?
Yeah, currently it's in the 4th alert, so it's practically it's the highest alert level volcano. So they should stay at the evacuation areas at the moment, because the volcano can erupt at any time at this condition, and people are not safe yet for coming back. And even if they want to come back, you see that a lot of how homes are covered by pyroclastic deposits, so it needs time to recover, and I think so. People need to be calm. I know that there are many refugees that are work in the sand mining industry, which is one of the most major economic centers in Semeru. But at this moment, people need to understand that the volcano eruption cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
So that we have to move for a while.
Yeah.
Until it completely stops.
Real quick, Doc, what are some of the signs that you're looking for the PVMBG to lower its alert status? What is it that will need to take place before that happens?
Yeah, we monitor the volcano with so many instruments at the Semeru area. So if the instruments have recorded and indicated that the activity is decreasing, for example, the seismic activity or the earthquakes, the volcano is decreasing, then we will probably think that the activity will be decreasing. But at the moment, all our instruments, the seismic data show that the activity is too high.
Yeah.
And, the volcano is very likely to have an eruption.
Right, scary stuff. Doc, thank you so much for this in-depth look into the Mount Semeru eruption. Stay safe, and we'll check in again with you soon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Devy.